We got a fresh cup of tea. It is time for some FACEIT League. We are in lower bracket quarterfinals here for NA Expert. We're going down from top 6 to top 4 here tonight. Which happens to coincide with the fact that top 4 out of Expert Division will be moving on to go up into Master Division for Season 5. So, winner of this match not only gets to keep their tournament hopes alive, not only gets to claim, at the bare minimum, a top 4 finish, but will be guaranteed a slot in Master Division for Season 5. Lots on the line here tonight in lower bracket. We have 2 matches happening simultaneously here tonight. So you have BCU Spark. Here, let's just go and pull up the bracket. How about Villains taking on Wizard Cats, your other lower bracket quarterfinals. Then, of course, Briarcliff is BCU Spark. They are one and the same. They're competing under the Spark logo, the Spark banner, whatever, here for FACEIT League under the... I guess the Culture org. I'm not very familiar with the org, but it's on Twitter. But it is the Briarcliff squad. It is the Briarcliff University squad. Anyway, so that's even though the logos and names look different in this bracket than what you might see on screen. You know, if you're not familiar, this is BCU is Briarcliff. That is what BCU stands for. This should be a good match. This should be a damn good match. But actually, both have a potential banger matchup going on. Potential banger potential. Yes, that's what I was gonna say. We are on fire tonight. Clearly, we need more tea. But Artemis and Villains both were in upper bracket semifinals. Both already had one shot at making it into the Master Division. But you know, Villains and Helios was so close. We had that one on stream. Such a damn close matchup. I think any one of these top 6, honestly, on any given game day, have the potential to go all the way. They've all shown some real brilliance throughout this season. But this lower bracket run for Wizard Cats particularly notable. We'll be keeping an eye on that match for sure. But kind of zooming in here a little bit on BCU Spark and Artemis. You know, Spark, your number 1 seed. The only series they dropped was to Nuka Tupure. Other than that, they were clean down the line. So these two did play each other the regular season. It was a 3-0 for Spark. And, I mean, it was close. I mean, you're looking at a 2-1 Samoa. Blizzard World went into extras. And, you know, push, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I guess we could zoom in on the actual stats and give us. But you can see, I mean, it looks like slightly more elims here. The deaths, very comparable on both sides. You know, looks like very even team fight wins. You know, BCU, definitely with a slight edge there on, Blizzard World was the second map. And I mean, and again, a slight edge on Esperanca as well for the 3-0. But Artemis, you know Artemis are coming hungry, and I feel like Artemis have just looked better and better as this season has gone on. A team that we expected to do well. I was surprised when Helios came out with the head-to-head win, right? And then that Spark loss, well, that's the only other blemish on their record as far as regular season is concerned. So, I mean, you're looking at your number 1 and number 2 seeds here tonight. In lower bracket, of course, Tupure find themselves in upper bracket alongside Helios. And then Wizard Cats taking on Villains. Villains, you know, you're the one team that didn't finish the regular season top 5 that is still currently in the running here. Taking a look at their history. So what I find fascinating here for Artemis is, I mean, this is their 3rd season in the league. They've been a mainstay of Expert Division since I've started casting in Season 2 for FACEIT League. And have had the exact same finish of 5th, 6th, both in Season 2 and in Season 3. Guess where they find themselves here today? In a 5th, 6th matchup. So this is, once again, an opportunity for them to not only punch up out of that, but to even punch up out of Expert altogether. So they've spent the past year almost. Whoops, too many clicks. They spent the past year, kind of right here at the tip top of Expert, but not quite able to make it to the grand finals, which in previous seasons would have been enough is where you had to make it to go into Master Division. Now with top 4 moving on, even just, you know, a 1 place improvement over their previous 2 seasons finish will be enough to promote them on and qualify them up a division for Season 5. So it feels like a crucial moment here for the Artemis squad. It's something they've been fighting hard for some time now. It's top of the hour. Come on, it's about time for some, yeah, we're getting some map picks going on. Samoa is your randomly chosen first map. Spark will get first ban. Last time we had Spark on, we got a lot of Doomfist out of Seaful, and it was a joy to behold. It was Seaful alongside Juven, or it ended up just being a nasty, nasty combo. I don't know if we're going to get that here today, if that was just, because that was a regular season strat. But that was fun. Speaking of killer hit scans, Nyan's in chat. Appreciate you being here. Somebody challenge Maddie. Come on, somebody. I mean, it's too late by the time you hear me, but I hope you get a challenger. I hope you get a challenger, Maddie. I won't take your points away if you don't get a challenger and you don't win. I think I started to say, I just want to make sure I put a little bow on it, though. Yeah, about... Okay, Doc. I'm talking about the not getting cats on had nothing to do with that match being competitive or not. I mean, I know that match is going to be a bang. So just to make sure I'm clear on that, it was just a fact that we hadn't had Artemis and Spark on in recent memory. And so when it gets some different players on for this match. You know we love the cats and the villains around here. I'm sure that's a banger. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. Good to know we've got PZ streaming. We'll definitely pop in on that if we have time between maps. Anyway, let's zoom in on the here and now. It's not going to be the Doomfist out of Seaful, but you know what? Still a nice aggressive dive tank. In fact, both of our tanks coming out with Hazard right out of the gate. For the most part, we're getting, you know, anticipated Lucio Kiri Tracer Sojourn, but, you know, here's the caveat with the Far Soch coming out from BCU Spark. Duck denied, jumping in on top. Ooh, and Jodella is just gonna chonk him down with a couple of nice rockets. Unless people fight an industrial? Okay. Jodella with a great prediction on one to pay car as well. Yeah, also doubling down, and this is the first cap going over to Spark. Then you got Juven set up on this nice high ground. Circle around to the back. Of course, gotta be just fully aware of the Pharah. The moment you take your attention away from Jodella, they're gonna pounce. Ooh, Juven able to clean off that side where we were watching him flank around in this right-hand angle. Lands a headshot across the way down into Wetto. People trying to pounce in, and here comes the peel. Everybody from Artemis throwing bullets towards Seaful's direction, but a nicely placed jagged wall and a well-timed block, and Seaful's able to hold the line. Both Sojourns exchanging some kills, getting into the mix. With Duck finding a kill on Lucio, you do give Industrial an edge of the sound barrier, but Jodello's giving the player advantage on over to Spark. They maintain control. Hey, Darkfin, that's assuming I'm going to remember to close out Preds and start using Preds for map 2. Rush it. Oh, beautiful shot to take out Juven just as soon as the rush hits. Oh, 1 health. Jodello manages to trade out with Vardex. I'm not sure it's going to be a 3-1 trade favoring Artemis on this point. A beautiful Kitsune rush, leading them into some percentage for the first time here on this map. Oh, let's go check it on Pankar. Setting up for this pulse. Now, I believe Kuffa is in Korea right now. There you go, Pankar lands a beautiful pulse. Nicely done. Jodella trying to work around a very high flying, deep left flank. Meanwhile, Seaful is moving in underneath. Slowly kind of trying to take away this high ground position. Duck has already dropped down low and rotated to the other side. Gonna go ahead and throw down the overclock. See if they can find one of those squishies in the back. Nice little side swipe there from Jodello. Able to escape with about 40 health. Still Spark looking a little split. Jodello still searching for that healing and never gets it. Pain Card Maverick are going to collapse onto the far. There comes Juven with a bit of a counter punch. Finds Duck on the outside of the main point, on the outside of the wall. Sound barriers and downpour thrown in from both teams. Nobody really finding anything on the back of the roots. Industrial. Oh, Benji's gonna hunt him down. They were trying to go for that back mega. He couldn't quite get it. Industrial just is way deep in enemy territory. Juven's gonna come to the back of the fight and continue to rush fight win. It was 89-81 when the flip comes through, but now at 90 and counting, Industrial's gonna get cut down, will not get a touch in. And this could just be the first map going the way of Spark, unless Artemis can get somebody on the point. Duck doesn't quite make it.
Score 1-0. Ready for battle.
Might be a little late for black tea, but damn it. It's like a third helping of this same tea bowl. So the first thing that goes to caffeine. It doesn't matter. You know what? I'm feeling jazzed up for this match. All right, let's get it around two. Changes compositionally outside of Duck coming off of the Soldier. And the consistent damage output of the Cassidy is starting to become more and more of a favorite for teams all around the league. Particularly against Afara. Yeah, you can see the two shots land. Pain Car comes in for the finish. And it ends up being a beautiful 1-2 punch all the way down the road. Comboed into a haymaker into a team fight win. Yeah, Clear is not the tallest individual. I've had the honor of actually meeting Clear face to face. Super nice guy, super nice guy. It was at the collegiate event last May with Boise State. Like fresh off the back of playing with the league too. I had one of their players with him. Introduced me to one of their players. Super nice guy. But yeah, not super tall. It's all right. It doesn't need to be a beast. Speaking of, look at that fight was on a knife's edge. I'm sitting there just glazing Clear, but that fight was on a knife's edge. Maverick, Duck, Industrial, all like 1 health at the end of that fight. Yeah, they're still waiting for a taxi. They're not. Okay, there we go. They're able to taxi Marduk's up. They're back at a full 5. Jodella's gonna make a swap over to the Torb, so trying to play a little bit more defensive here. As with Duck making that swap, it's proven to be formidable here for the onslaught of Artemis. Their offense has been able to keep a wonderful tempo. Now Maverick should be able to elevate that here with the downpour. Try to drop it into the corner. The Suzu from Webjet, don't think got Jodello. Maybe it's Marduk's of Suzu that I still have thrown into that as a matter of fact. It is on cooldown. Concerning Rushona from Marduk, speaking of, kind of awkward positioning from both of our rushes. They both kind of just angled into the corner. Rotation out of Spark. They're coming back around through main with this OC from Juven. Might get 3 cap off of this game. Maverick doesn't want to give it up that easy. Soundbarrier from Industrial, nicely placed. Well-timed re-engage just before the cap was coming through. Duck is dropping the Deadeye from the outside. It's a Duck Eye? We'll go with the Duck Eye. Manages to avoid the root and punch Seafull in the face with a bullet. I say avoid the root. The root was actually, it looked like it got booped off. Still, Sound Barrier has leveraged this into a 3v3. Spark have managed to grab control through all of this as well. Maverick is still alive, but in that 1v3, gets mismatched. The other two disengage. Maverick just goes in and tries to trade out what they can. Someone say Duck? Oh, yeah. Duck on Quack is definitely one of the influencers behind the Duck emote. It was one of the many Duck-related things we have here in FACEIT League and on this stream. Molten Core and Katsuna could make this a tough retake, but a great opener. Oh, let's check back in on that Molten Core. Where are you going to put that? Okay, it's kind of defensively. Katsune Rush, Downpour dodged, thereby went to the Swift Step, and a Katsune Rush thrown in. And that will leverage a fight win. Great timing on the Swift Step to avoid the root. Keeping him 5 strong here in this fight. Almost had to land in my country. Sadly, it got canceled. Aww. Oh, huge jagged wall. That was right in the middle of the pack of 4. Continue rush on the back of it, and Paincar's going to throw in a pulse. Didn't quite seem to find a kill. Perhaps Seafool got a block on it. Maybe just good old-fashioned whiff. Either way, Artemis able to clean off the point with the use of their 2 DPS ultimates. Seafool comes roaring back in. Takes a Suzu and a damn speed to get him out. Somehow, Benji with a slick move is able to clear some space. Boops away Paincar to stay alive. Seafield is able to respond, find the Lucio on the other side. Is going to take down Mardux. Big assist and kills in a Maverick, and this could be going down to one final fight. One we're going to have Spark in control. Looking to hold this choke. Yeah, clear super nice. Super nice. Katsune Rush and Sound Barrier from Spark, and they've just got all the pressure on the wall. We're going to chase down Duck. 5v3 left on this point. Wonderful hive mind behavior, and Juven cleans up with a 4-piece. Map 1, go to the Spark.
Play of the game.
Yeah, it's that final 4K. Duck on Quack might be the second coming of Pine. Oof. I don't know. I feel like Juven might have something to say about that here in 2 minutes from that statement. Numbani pick out of Artemis. Spark looks so fast and so coordinated on that map. Artemis were able to hold control point B for a bit. There's gonna be a brig band coming from Artemis as well as a swap side. But the speed and the coordination out of Spark definitely overwhelming. Definitely overwhelming at Artemis for the kind of second half of Volcano there. It felt like the ults were pretty even. I mean, there was a sound barrier advantage at the very end. So was it a sound barrier advantage or a Katsune Rush advantage? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because Spark did have the double support ults in that final fight. It was next to final fight, but essentially final fight, the final real fight. You know, that's Artemis didn't get the touch at the very end, but I don't know if I'd really consider that an engagement. Villains take map 1, says Darkfit. Thank you for the heads up. Take a look at some stats. Did Juven have most damage? Felt pretty good. No, it's actually Jodello who had most damage. Oh, no. Excuse me. Maverick on the other side takes that honor by just under 1,000. Clear out a stream where he was cosplaying as Academy Diva? Amazing. What else stands out for us from stats here? Fewest deaths going over to Wentub. They're able to get on Benji. I mean, Benji with most deaths. So, I mean, kind of giving a little bit of an indication on where Artemis is putting their attention. So keep an eye on, let's keep an eye on that as a trend. You know, if that continues. It was a hazard ban coming through from Spark. Get that plugged in for you. We're just waiting on players to get in here. Wait, did I put the bans on the wrong side? No, I got it right. I got it right. Let's see. Let's get your gambas. Thank you, Maddie. No, good call. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking it. Good call. Okay, while we've got a moment, we're still waiting on... Oh, never mind. I was about to pull up PZ stream. Like, if they're going to take any longer than that, then we'll just go keep an eye on, you know, get some gameplay on stream for you. But they loaded in just as I was having the thought. Time for map 2? Artemis and the variation. We are going to get something a little bit different here. Okay, so we're going to get the Winston, meaning you get on a carry, double flex support back line with your Jill moving into a Genji. So, definitely a little bit of a different look coming out. I feel this is Spark able to play in their strengths a little bit. Oh, nasty, perfectly timed deflect. Catches one single Cheerio from Industrial. It's all they need to shut that down. What? Mardox is able to help win the battle of the tanks. So Jodell now stuck in enemy backline with no tank on the case. Once you find the pin card, not ideal. Jodell is still lurking around back here too. Okay, manages to run off run off Maverick. Z4 returns to the case, takes some high ground, and it's just been a slow, methodical takeover of point A. Looking for a recontest here. There's no ultimates for either team to work with. So just looking for perhaps Duck to get a shot while Maverick is stalling this out. Mardux will get it done. Mardux is the one that lands it. Maverick is able to assassinate Jodello. Wonderful retake. They're out of Artemis. You're going to stop a one and done here on point A.
Enemy spotted.
Honestly, I'm thinking about it, Maddie, since I'm kind of a regular of the stream. even just like a GM, like a good map at the end of the map, so I know the map is done, would be extremely helpful. And like just as a reminder, like that just means like you just hit GM, and it means don't forget the gambas. In fact, I could even make that a command. So when you hit GM, it actually comes up with a command that says don't forget the gambas. Anyway, okay, sorry. My brain, I know, my brain. I get so distracted. Good hold here. There was a early kill. They're out of Maverick. They're able to follow up and then just kind of squeeze in on this upper choke. So after catching Jodello, the flank is cleaned off. All guns pointed to the top of hotel. Wetube, swift step to regroup back up front. It's all of BCU Spark investing towards this side. Driving Duck off of the high ground. The sleep onto the OC. The anti's going to land, but a wonderful Suzu and great peel out of the back line of Artemis. Jodell pulls out the blade, trying to secure point A for Spark here. What has been a very bloody fight. And admit several ultimates coming out from the defense, including Sound Barrier and Kitsune Rush. 4 ultimates invested from both sides, as a matter of fact. BCU Spark come out on top once the dust settles. And Paris says, I'm late. Hey, just happy you're here. Happy you're here. I appreciate you. We got the sneaky manager chat anxiously waiting to see who's going to join them in Master Division next season. Big congrats to Sneaky Tapire. And Joshua with an opening pick under Jodella once again clearing off that flank. Jodella has struggled to get past to really find an opening into this back line. They seem to have multiple players secure it at a drop of a hat. Less than 230 remains. Maverick confident enough to, just put some pressure right up top, and that's going to result in a kill. Duck tosses a disruptor up there, and it's another 10-second wait here for Spark to even make an attempt at this first corner.
This ends now.
Driven from the high ground. Oh, Industrial just sticks their face right in the front of the barrel. Still +1 for the defense, though. That nade got eaten. Well-timed defense matrix there from Maverick. Little micro play to deny the ante out of that fight. Secure a kill onto the Ana. Reduce this clock to 90 seconds. Still, Spark have struggled to even get past this first corner. Jodella dies amidst the Kitsune Rush. Just had a rush thrown right on top of their face. It was really... that Jodella couldn't do anything about that. Maybe a ill-timed dash in so they didn't have anything to get out, but just got a Kitsune Rush thrown on top of you. Yet another stagger. 1 minute remain. Kitsune Rush is now available for the attacking Spark, though. They're going to throw that immediately down the street towards where Green Bus used to be. I guess it got moved over here now. Still not used to that. I don't know why that one change just feels so like that bus moved. Overclock in from Duck, playing from Dorado. Oh, wonderful angle. This could be a nasty interest into the back line. The Shriek perk keeping Benji alive through that, though. Nano started in Jodella, but they never pulled out the blade. Kind of got forced back into the store here. Recall from Paint Car. Might have just wasted the dash. Oh, but Industrial ends up right in front of the blade, giving Jodella a bit of hope and some value on the top of that ultimate. Now, with only 12 seconds remain, a little bit of confidence and energy pacing, pushing into the final corner of point B here for BCU Spark. Unfortunately, they don't have any ultimates. Consider rush from the defense. Maverick is going to have a second lease on life, assuming they can self-destruct in a safe spot, which means they're going to get very aggressive here. Find the kill on the Seafull. And this should be a hole from Artemis. Juven coming up on an ultimate. Maybe just a big hero play, but has to yeet themselves onto the point. Goes up to Green Bus, is able to pop the overclock, but Maverick has the DM in their face. And that is going to be the hold.
1. Switching sides.
Should I make it points, please?
Initiating match.
I don't know. It feels a little presumptuous. It feels like you might be cursing yourself there, Maddie. I mean, a bold choice, but I will leave that up to your discretion. I was trying to give you minimal typing. 2 letters, something super simple. But hey, if you want to go command points, please, we can definitely make that work. It does have a little bit more personality to it, doesn't it?
Ready for battle.
Speaking of personality, what a hold there from the longtime squad of Iliad Artemis. I mean, again, a team that has had minimal change. I think Duck is the newest player on this team that just came in this season. Everybody else, if memory serves, was on the squad for Season 3. Most of them for Season 2. Bus got a ticket, was forced to move. Was going to get one of those boots, they're a pain in the ass. You can't have that. You can't have that. It's not a good look for the city when your own city green bus gets a boot on it.
3, 2.
Tragic indeed.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
That attack and the movement of the bus, both were tragic. Okay, we do get the Seaful Doom here. One of these times, I'm just going to start using whatever random screenshot I happen to take is going to be the thumbnail for that match. Like, I don't know. Just do something silly. Sorry. We don't need to get too silly. We've got good map control already picked up here from Artemis. You can see that they've managed to secure the second floor hotel. Jodel's having to play from kind of an attacker's vantage point here. Maverick looked like they were in a bit of a duel down underneath, heading in the stairwell down to the store. Now they're on to the point to secure some percentage. Benji and Jodello do get just kind of stuck out on the back towards Main Street, towards the Artemis spawn. Juven actually gets a kill coming around Ko's side. But the defense got, really pulled apart. Really pulled apart.
Nice work, team. Keep it moving.
Box victory not too far ahead here. Maverick trying to claim this high ground directly above it. Has 5 minutes to play with. Coming up on a concerning rush, which can be used just diagonally, kind of right down this sight line that we're looking at from the camera's POV. That would just be a gorgeous Kitsune rush. They're approaching it now. Seaful doesn't want to give that angle, but doesn't have to sustain the stick in it, and there it is. This is going to be so tough to hold this corner. Bankar with a pulse to add insult to injury, but Industrial's gone down to the back line. Jodel's able to sneak around and find a kill from underneath. Seaful delivers 2. So despite it looking like everything coming up Artemis, they don't count on the flank. Jodello and Seaful find the squishy underbelly. We're just going to drop PPs in chat after every map. I was just kidding with you, Maddie. You're just tempting fate. That's all I'm saying. You absolutely win more often than not. I can't argue with that. You know your stuff. I was just teasing more than anything, to be honest. That is double support ult thrown in from the defense. Just a sound barrier invested from Artemis, and they're the ones that have the player advantage right now. Little chase on into Jodello, trying to keep the flank clean. Has caught Maverick into a 1v3. Bites off more than they can chew. They can get back and mech with this. The swift step in. Marduk's with the Suzu, and the self-destruct catches Benji. Oh, no. That is not how BCU Spark drew that up. They had a wonderful recognition of Maverick out of position. But as they try to pounce, the tables have turned, and so has Numbani. Series will get tied up 1-1, barring a huge comeback. There is a stall going on the point here from Jodello. You do have Seaful, Wetube, and Benji are all lurking fairly close by. But Benji's going to get cut down, which means no more stall. That's the map. We're tied up 1-1. Steam screenshots feel like speed bumps telling you to lock in and watch the stream. It's just me fat fingering F12 when I'm trying to hit F11. That's all it is. But you know what? Fair. Fair, sure. I mean, you know what? Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Ooh, I didn't see which sides they were starting. We saw it was a critical band coming in from Spark. I didn't catch which. We can figure that out now. Oh, they are swapping back over. Okay, so Spark going back over into the blue outlines. Banning out the Kiriko here from map number 3. Getting loaded in for Dorado. Which, of course, means I can't forget the Gambus. Let's not forget the Gambus. Maddie already jinxing the match. I need to plug a ban in. Let's see. We said it's a Kiriko ban out of Spark. It was a Doomfist ban. Okay, so immediately Artemis are attacking Seaful. They don't waste too much time. This is a good map to do it. You know, it's as we're becoming more and more acclimated with this pick ban system and the hero ban system, teams are becoming better and better at maximizing their bans, and this is the way to do it. I mean, simple stuff. You know, banning a high ground favorite hero on a high ground map, but you know, it's kind of at the core of it. Obviously, it's a little bit more nuanced than that, but no, we did get a shot out of Quack. You gonna stick with it? No. Okay. Ooh. So it's a Brig Juno backline for the attacking Artemis, trying to play this hazard once again since it is no longer banned. A little bit more a traditional look on Dorado with the Brig on a backline, trying to support Seaful. Seaful, of course, able to get up behind this wall. Ooh, speaking of walls, nice little jagged one there, isolating Benji momentarily. But the support has eventually come through. The wall is broken. The Violent Leap is able to get the kill. Maverick's going to fight both supports with that. What a play out of Maverick to get a huge lead here in first fight for Artemis. Now, it's been equalized a bit here with Juven getting a pickup. But a late death on to Seaful ensures that there's going to be a lot of progress picked up here. Eventually, Juven's just going to have to turn tail. Jojel's trying to buy some of that space back. You know, a quick pick into one of these spawners would have done it. Pain Car's able to kind of mark him a little bit. And just keep him at bay with our ship presence. Now we're going to get a dash into the back line. Violet Wall back him up and a beautiful attack. Maverick and Pain Car combined with a swift strike. Marduk's getting in the mix as well. Of course, the back line there to keep him alive. You know, I'm going to be screaming Marduk's and Industrial's name on some of these dives, but make no mistake. That backline's getting involved. 2 fights, 2 wins out of Artemis. Point on the board, 430 to work with. The wall inside the bubble. Nano on the Seaful, but they're kind of got held up on the low ground. It was a good boot that sent it back down. Wonderful bio lands on the duck on Quack. Jodello and Juven with ultimates invested in. I thought for a second Duck might have been able to get into the back line. There's still a little bit of a war going on back here. Maverick eventually taken out. Not before finding both supports. If Duck can get out alive, ooh! The sliding kill back on the main street to find Jodello as well. And that backline pressure out of Maverick and Duck pays off. The sacrifice from Maverick was definitely not in vain. Some wonderful cart progress. Map control here from the high ground. Obviously, Seaful keeping an eye on things from a distance. He's able to scout from over here. You do have a rally and a primal. A lot of sustain coming into this. But look how many check marks we're looking at here from Artemis with the blade getting pulled first. And the rally just falls by the wayside. Nice deflect onto the sleep dart. The finish on the wed tube. And once again, that back line is toast. Artemis have been so good at assassinating those two here on Dorado so far. Nacho Toast says, the bring judo on Dorado makes him sad, but I gotta say, so far, it has been a flawless run through Dorado here for Artemis. Not flawless as in, like, they're 5-0ing every team fight. Like, there have been some bloody fights, but Artemis has certainly won them all.
Come on, let's move this payload.
Downpour tossed in this tight little corridor. Panghart gets in front with a deflect to find Seaful. Oh. That's a very close quarters combat, and Artemis showed some real prowess in that. I imagine like a martial arts movie where there's no room for the fighters to fight. Like Kill Bill, where they can't draw their swords because they're stuck fighting in a trailer. That's what that fight reminded me of. Artemis being the bride, I guess, in this scenario. It's gonna be Seaful getting the nano boost. Not the katana, which would have so nicely fit our previous metaphor, but Jardella does have the blade ready to go. Anti-nade lands on to Maverick, but it'll duck away. Industrial with the rally, starting to push forward here through Main Street. The rally fades, but Pankar wins out the Genji duel up top, taking the blade out of the equation for the incoming push for the final end of Dorado. Orbital Ray cut a line from Marnix, but they're very low on health at the moment. I think Seaful recognized that after the call was made. They tried to move in for it, but kind of end up stuck. Okay, they're having to use their leap to get out while this car's getting so close. The deflect and the blade from Jodello. Sound barrier in as well. Trying to put a stop to this cart. Maverick has slept. I think the defense is in a pretty good spot. As I say that, the disengage kills. Oh no, they were purple backing away, but Seaful couldn't quite secure the pick now. Now Pankar pulls out their own blade, and that is Hattori Hanzo Steel.
Score 0-3. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
All right, we're going Mach 5. Well, kind of. We're just not quite Mach 5. It takes the Junker Queen for that extra shout speed. Well, you have Lucio Juno, double speed pack line. The Sparkhead on the attack, trying to match the 211 time bank set up by Artemis. A lot of pressure down low, and Duck is just, fired from this high ground. You can see, the Brig, a smart pick. Does a very nice job of just protecting Duck's flank up there. Keeping them secure. Now a very aggressive position for a nice nice rail shot to the head. So far, this is a defense exerting dominance. Jordello trying to skip the Brig defense, coming over the top of the roof. Duck took a lot of damage. Wall to block Jordello out of this fight, though. Seaful finds themselves in a mismatch created by a wonderful jagged wall. Maverick tried to leap in and get the one target. Everything's going to get bloody on this corner. Dash through for both Genjis results in Paincar and a pine box. Duck still shooting from up on high, but Seafull and Jodello immediately go to greet them. Driven emerging from the stairs side with a soft flank. Pouring shots towards the tank, but thwarted is... I believe that's Duck sitting on that far side. Ooh, that may have been Marduks. Downpour is caught Jodello in it. The Orbital's going to keep them alive through it, though. An Industrial stays on that front line entirely too long to try to get that pick. A late sound barrier. I don't know if you needed that one, but I can understand the pressure of Benji to put that into and secure this cap. Secure a clean fight win, and then it will get it there.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
It's always easy to look from a top-down bird's eye view and go, you know what, I don't know if you need that ultimate. I can see from the exact timing in my satellite perspective that you had that in the bag. Wall used, which might not be much to block this downpour. Okay, it's giving the rally pop. Paincar and Maverick are both caught in it, both in a lot of trouble. Maverick still won. The shield bash from Industrial trying to get in front of it, trying to sink it down, Mr. President, but this assassination is successful. Spark find themselves rolling through Point B. Jodello now with blade in hand. The very early OC. And it gets the card around the corner. So, I mean, it definitely zoned out this defense, forcing their hand. We're going to get dueling blades coming out here. Jodello's going to win it out. Who's got the Hattori Hanzo steal now? Duck rotating to secure some high ground. Defense looks like they are able to get set despite a little bit of poking and prodding coming through from Spark. OC Orbital as well as a downpour available for them to work with. You just have Webtoon's ultimate online for the attacking Spark. See how they play this mismatch. It's a speed rate engage using the one ultimate they have. That OC blocked off by a jagged wall temporarily there from Ducky. He's going to drop down and find Webtoon. It's all said and done, and when I finally find the right camera. Duck was just waiting on me to get the pop on him. I see how it is. Whoop! As I say that, Juven wins the duel. A little bit of a slow approach out of Spark because they're close to ultimates, but nothing quite online just yet. Seafull's going to go ahead and make a move up to the top and a nice Violet Leap Jagged Wall combo. Didn't need the ultimate. Pushes up to find two. What a smart read out of Seafull. Definitely felt like the goal was to play slow around that corner, and Seafull saw just a silver platter do double kill. Now he's going to hold a lot of squishies down in the back with the downpour. There is one in return from the defense of Artemis. Sound barrier thrown in from Spark, and Seafull's going to leverage that into a kill on a Maverick, but a rally comes roaring out of spawn. And the rest of the reinforcements from this defense along with it. Jodello's going to fall in the swarms on point. Low health bars, though, and the torpedoes don't make it in time to save them. Seafull's able to clean up. Ducky's still here, fighting Vinci in the back line, but Paincar dies, 3% away from Blade. It's just Maverick left to hold on to this point. Under 2 minutes on the clock. Artemis already having the better time. Duck has returned to assist. Is going to drive Seafull away. The defense will stabilize by the skin of their teeth. Damn, that was close. There's Jodella's blade up first, catching Marduk's out of the sky. Also close to ultimate. Really good recognition of who they need to kill from Spark. Pankar pulls the blade. They're going to make it back. Maverick is going to get the touch. Pankar's on the case. Dash into the high ground. Trying to find Juven, but just gets destroyed on the fadeaway. No orbital on point. Seafull with a downpour is going to catch Duck at that, but all guns are on the other side. Duck sweating for a moment as the root fades, and they're able to recall back. Maverick and Duck both very low. Pankar trying to return on a venture, but no such doing. A full cap here from Spark. We're headed to extras on Dorado. One will Spark will have half the time. And it definitely took them a little bit to kind of get the truck rolling, right? It took them a little longer on point A than it did Artemis on their initial attack at the very least.
Ready for battle.
Sorry, the hazard voice line. It's just the. I don't know. It just made me chuckle. 60 seconds.
Let's move this payload.
Double speed here once again from Benji and Wetube. No changes compositionally. A little bit of a fight going on for the high ground. Maverick is able to hold the line. The real goal is forcing Duck out of the window. And they succeed in doing so, but it's a quick rotation. Artemis aren't going to give the high ground up just that easy. Couple of quick biscuits, and everybody's good to go. This defense ready for another fight. The cards approach the corner, but it has not turned the corner. The defense is just trying to decide, do they attack or do they rotate? Looks like they're going to go for the attack. Get aggressive. Seafull low. Pankar wisely stays up top. Does not overextend trying to find it. Maverick drops it and immediately go back up. Doesn't make it back in the window. Fortunate to get back on the other side of the wall. That could have been disastrous here for Artemis. As it stands there now, they're trying to rotate back to courtyard. They have to use a speed ring just to complete the rotation. Not ideal, but actually they're going to take that extra speed and get aggressive on it. Coming kind of from the side angle. Both Junos now down in this fight. Industrial with a fast rally. 20% ahead of Benji's ult on the other side. Now trying to kill the Lucio. Has to put up the shield for a moment. Loses track of Benji, but Maverick is able to get the kill. Securing the defense here for Artemis. With no sound barrier coming up, I don't see any hope of them bringing this back. You know, maybe they got more kills in this match. Okay, no, I'm saying the support line is still hanging out back here. Just in that zoomed in perspective, it's like, wait a minute, I'm looking at a 3v2. We're back in a 4v4 at this point. Spark have managed to stay alive long enough to get another fight, and Benji's got a sound barrier in. Now a blade from Jodello, and this is absolutely winnable. Industrial's going to get sliced down, as is Duck. Going up to the high ground, Marduk's already a corpse by the time you got there. Let's not count Spark out too soon. They said, hold up, Jeff. Hold your horses, Caster Man. We ain't done. Orbital take the corners. Juvid going on a high-risk flank with the orbital, or with the overclock. Wet 2 does throw their orbital over the front line. In fact, it's a laser light show going up here on the high ground. Juven's able to find one with that angle. Meanwhile, back on cart, though, Maverick and Industrial able to clean it off. Still 4 points on the board. Admirable progress, particularly with just 60 seconds to work with. And, I mean, even just taking point A, you know, it took 90 seconds for Spark to kind of set up and establish their first attack on their initial approach to point A. And that got thwarted. They're able to very quickly deal with the aggression of Maverick on the cart and simultaneously end up with 4 players up on this high ground.
Ready for battle.
So it's a quick maneuver to get Artemis off of that initial piece of high ground.
Five,
222 to work with.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Quack's actually on this far right side. Yep. Okay, no red roof approach. Well, at least not initially. Artemis didn't bum rush red roof like you often see on the attacking side. Ooh. They try to take a little bit more disciplined approach, and Maverick gets stalked. Pankar, like, initially went up to red roof and ends up trying to either dash away or dash to high ground, but either way ends up disconnected. Maverick loses that first duel. Pankar still positioned on that right beneath the camera here. Attacking on the Benji. Duck is able to find Chotello on the stairs. So a bit of an overcommitment here from the defense will get them pounced on. And it means Artemis does not have to make the same risky play to go take this high ground. They're able to just focus fire targets down one at a time, free entrance into the courtyard. Minute 20 to work with. Neither team with much to speak of ult-wise. The Juven leading the server currently. He can says I'm writing my essay in this map. 1200 gigabanger. Oh, nice move from Chodello. C4 ends up filled. Juven, the only thing standing between the cart and the cat. Maverick goes leaping alongside Pankar. Good rotation from Juven, able to slide out. Trying to hold from that left-hand side. Now pushing in, retake the front of the point alongside Benji. Continual pressure here from Artemis, but they're not able to secure a pick. Give it a lot of time for C4 to get back in this fight. That's not what they want. Almost a C9 there. C4's return. Chotello, the only one holding car with a root in place. Pankar and Duck come up with kills. And despite not able to C9, the downpour is enormous. It's enough to win the fight out. Final fight for the map and match point here in the all-important lower bracket quarterfinals. Double DPS also available for Artemis. They're looking to complete this cap. We've got Maverick to secure the high ground. Juven's made a swap over to a Reaper. There's a car presence. Quick teleport in. Duck with an OC, but is already low. Took a shot. Chotello chasing them with the blade. Duck's able to back out, and Pankar's able to find Juven and get Chotello as well. Pankar's going to come up with a third. Rally, throw it into the mix, but it is a last-ditch, desperate effort from Spark to try to hold the line, and it will not happen. C4, the final one to fall. Artemis take the 2-1 lead. Wow, that was close. Wow, that was close. All right. Spark shows Esperanca. And remember, that was a Spark map pick as well. But, I will say, Artemis used their Doom ban on Dorado. Esperanca is a damn good Doom map, I believe. I'm not really a Doom player myself, but I play a lot of Wrecking Ball. And just from, my overview of this map, it just feels like a great playground for a Doom Fist. It's the Tracer ban coming through from Spark. We are going to get a side swap. Meantime, here, let's take a look at some stats from map 3. I will say Esperanca was the most convincing map win that BCU Spark had the last time these two teams met back in regular season. That was a 3-0 for Spark, but most, the first two maps were pretty darn close. Blizzard World and Samoa was what was played before. We did see Samoa repeated here. But Esperanca was by far the most convincing map win from the Spark in that 3-0. Let me see. Let's go get those bans. As I said, it was a Tracer ban from Spark. We're going to get a side swap here for you. 2-1 Hive Mind. Easy shut off stream. Hey, let PZ focus and, get all the resources they can into the fight. Right. Yeah. 100% in pairs. That makes a lot of sense. Like, not to just focus. Like, let them focus. Oh, what was that ban? Let's go check what did Artemis choose to ban here?
Initiating match.
Winton. Makes sense. Let's get into map 4. It should just be...
Ready for battle.
Inzap, thank you for the follow.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Objective unlocks in 30 seconds.
Oh, I didn't change the Artemis ban. Enjoy some Mavpov. I'll go put the Artemis ban in. There was that Winton ban. There we go. I have a Scabby. Aww. Okay. So Juven just gets 3 with a disruptor shot, as you do. I can't tell you the last time I solved, just put a color filter on your face between matches. Actually kind of hilarious. Oh, Juven just taking names from this high ground. It was an approach from Artemis to try to move up that stairwell, and Juven just cut them all down. They couldn't even make the rotation. It was a good intercept from Seaful as well. But that threat from Juven is going to be a 80-second cap there on that first point. TS1's already trying to turn this corner towards Yellow Bus. I know, it's a sad monkey. Sad monkey. Ooh, duck low. That was dangerous. Don't want to lose duck that early in the fight, particularly before you even get your Kitsune rush onto the battlefield. But Jodello's able to clean up. I don't know if that was in window or ended up dashing back up into window. Still, Maverick is able to trade. So, +1 to Spark. Seaful going up to increase that lead. Dies in the process. Maverick does not have enough health to do anything with it, though. So, it'll be a little bit of extra meterage. Now, the trades do mean Spark will eventually have to give up the spot. I say that. They're able to taxi the rest of the team back in here. They're back 5 strong. Never mind. Artemis, I don't know, lollygagging a bit to get back in here or trying to figure out how they want to make their approach. Gotta catch WetTube in the downpour. But Dorado keeping WetTube and company alive.
This ends now.
Duck finds one, immediately brought down. Screenshot. Jodello picks up two. Marduk's running away with the bot. Maverick trying to cover the escape. Jodello's low, self-Suzu to keep Marduk's alive through that. Somehow Jodello gets away with 1 health. Sound barrier out of Artemis to help defend against the OC. Benji is going to respond. Juven has their own ultimate into this as well. Pain Carp trying to clear out the window at least temporarily. Juven's able to slide through, though, get past. Ends up kind of flipping the map a little bit. This is interesting. You still have 3 players from Spark here. They let themselves a good out, though. They're able to just back up. Both players down low. Jodello and Seafull can get up to the high ground if they need to. But honestly, they haven't really... It's not really what Hazard wants to play, I suppose. And you can stage and pounce from up there. But Spark have been playing hyper-aggressive. I think it's going to be die on this point or nothing. No, it's Pain Car! Ends up going down. Blade up from Jodello. Considering rush thrown in here from Artemis with a good wall. Denying a bit of healing. Maverick, stopped by another Eichenwalde on the other side. Forced to give up on the rest of that Kitsune rush and back away. The face plant onto the wall is always sad. The face plant, like, right into the Eichenwalde. Come on, Belt. Oh, huge downpour from Maverick. That caught 4 in it. That was enormous. It also meant that the orbital ray out of WetTube just kind of falls a bit flat there. It gets away from the rest of the team. They're not able to maximize that at all. Well timed, well played downpour. They're out of Maverick. Screenshot to lock in. There you go. Screenshot to lock in. Duck's gonna fight Juven. Was kind of chasing the trail of Jodello, backing away, and it just pointed right to the heart of the rest of the squad. Good pursuit from Maverick, and meterage on the board for the first time here in Esperanca. Artemis now trying to pursue that. Don't want to bite off more than you can chew, pushing out that archway. Speed ring window push. Seafull goes with it to the opposite high ground. Knows they have a downpour and a sound barrier at their back if so needed. Maverick covering their escape with a spiked wall. Now it's going to be a fight for this high ground a little bit. With Duck down low, actually a bit of a disadvantage for that high ground fight. Seafull's able to get one, but Duck picks up a kill in the back. Downpour thrown in as well as sound barrier from the Spark. But Seafull is low, has to back away, trying to avoid all the damage coming in with the Kitsune rush from Marduk, thrown it on the other side. Jodello able to escape with 1 health. Seafull does not. Jodello backs up to the Mega, but without a tank. Spark now at a severe disadvantage in this fight. Maverick's going to pick up another one. Jodello's not going to make it easy on him. Oh. That was an ambitious blade. Good shutdown. I mean, honestly, with the overclock coming in from Juven, maybe they get it done if the blade doesn't just die immediately. Either way, it's 2 DPS ult spent here from Spark. Spawns unlocked 3 minutes ago. Still plenty of time for Artemis to catch up in this map. And the economy is just swinging in their favor in an enormous way. Despite missing up the first dash, the second dash gets you in close, and a great downpour comboed with it. Once again, Pankar and Maverick combined for a wonderful opening. This one looks to be leveraged into a flawless fight win. No health bars low at all. They're going to send C full to space. Bloop. Good Shadella clearing some space. Imagine Juven would want that high ground. Actually, no. To my surprise, actually just playing right down Main Street, where an orbital rail will get thrown in to counter the concerning rush out from Artemis. Bit of a disengage here from Iliad. They lose Industrial in the process. It's not a clean disengage. They get split apart. $81 to 110 with just under 90 seconds remain. And Spark cleaning up here in the back of this fight. That's going to need another 20 seconds or so off the clock before we get another engagement out of Artemis. They do have close spawns. They did all get close spawns. So, Artemis, do you have the option to try to press window? Or, as you can see, Maverick is choosing to come press high ground directly. Even played on Stairwell side, but found themselves in a 2v1. Dorado already backing away. Bot getting away from Artemis here a little bit. They're giving chase now, having to run down towards their own spawn. Maverick gets caught in the process. C-Full takes down Industrial as well. So now Artemis running away with the bot, but their backs are against the wall, not their reinforcements. It was a zoning blade, no jacks. That automatically changes the definition. 15 seconds. Spark in control. 4 ultimates to work with, including Sound Barrier Blade. It's going to be a big ult fight. We're going to get a lot of check marks online before this one gets real. Overclock from Duck started off. Oh. He's trying to get a jumping shot in. A good disengage here from the other side. So far, nobody from Spark has pressed Q yet. Maverick trying to jump up to the high ground. Here comes the ambush. Everybody getting on top of it. And Juven finally hits the ultimate, as does Benji. Trying to leap down back in behind. They catch Artemis a bit flat-footed. The orbital raid and put an exclamation point on this fight. Jodello's going to chase down the remaining players on the bot with the Kitsune Blade. Or excuse me, with the Dragon Blade. Kitsune Blade's fitting. Map 5 is even more fitting. This one's going the distance.
Play of the game.
Look at some stats there from map 4. We talked about it. I mean, that was when Spark had the best luck with in the previous matchup between these two. Thank you, Maddie. Let's get those points for you. BCU stands for Briarcliff University. We already saw the hazard was banned out from Artemis. Lucio banned from Spark. This does make sense coming into this. We're showing Artemis on the Ramatra comp here as we get in. You know, going into the brawl, you can see why the Lucio got banned out. This is definitely kind of getting into the wheelhouse of Artemis. With the hazard ban, Safel into the trademark Doomfist. Of course, the Doomfist already banned earlier in the series, so could not repeat that ban. Let's check out a Safel rollout. How you gonna roll out of this bad boy? Rocking that green LA Valiant skin. Made it onto the cover of one of the thumbnails here in regular season. Okay. Juven working around tower side. Looks like Simo pulled a lot of aggro, but Maverick gives up on it temporarily to go hunt down the back line. Trying to use the Vortex just to keep the Brig at bay, but gets surrounded. Needs to back up. Not able to secure any kills, but Seafold is forced to peel as well. Try to see if they can strike back before the defense gets set here for this next engagement. Was able to kind of get it onto the point, but couldn't really find a good target. Was forced back out. We got Duck on this Cassidy. It's put out just so much work. I mean, it's 77% towards that first ultimate already, leading the server. A couple of great picks here to secure this defense. 1 minute down. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Hero. Guacamole sounds like it should be a username. It does! That would be a great gamer tag. Truly the Socrates of the modern era. all right. Screenshot to lock in, right? Screenshot to lock in. Oh, great sleep. Maverick could be in a lot of trouble. Absolutely is. Set up there. I don't know if it was a sleep or a... No, it was. It was Wet Tube sleep. It was absolutely sleep. What am I doing? Wet Tube's gonna fall by the kill on a Marduk's. My eyes naturally went to the top left side because I equate blue with Spark. I mean, no lie. Woo! Pain Car's gonna equate hurt with Spark. We're on the pulse down onto Pidgey. Comes in, gets catnapped onto the point. Anti does land on the Duck up top. They're gonna back up with 75 health. It's easy kill there for Seaful. You do get some ultimates out. This defense has managed to force this issue. I say you get ultimates out. You got Meteor Strike out. It's like half an ultimate. You did buy more time. Got the clock to about $1.35. Oh, Pankar tried to stall it even longer.
Let's build the payload together. I'm on my game now.
Double support ults and an annihilation. So I mean, just enormous amount of sustain available for Artemis, but they've spent both DPS ults. So you might be able to drop down and stay alive for a bit, but can you get anything done with it? You're gonna have to do it with only one DPS in the fight. Orbital thrown in, but the anti on top of Maverick's gonna deny some of that sustain early in this. That's gonna force the annihilation out early. Jojella with a nano blade is hoping the extra punching power will make the difference. Unfortunately, they just lose. They don't have the dash reset. Got booped out of there. Booped by Industrial. Had to be Industrial, right? Liptube's gonna end up dropping Maverick with a Nemesis. Pummels down a couple of extra players. Once the blade fell flat, the added sustain here from Artemis wins the day. Virtual, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you so much. That is huge. I really do appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gotello coming up over the top of the wall, wants direct access to this high ground. Is facing down 3 Artemis players, though. Can't believe they got out of that one at one piece. Raleigh popped down low, and Industrial is going to leverage that into a kill on to Seaful. 2:30 remain on the clock. As Maverick isolates a couple players in the back. Doc is able to find a beautiful finish there on to Juven. Went to, won't make it out of there. This is just going to be more and more time eating off the clock. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll just stick the camera into this little cubby for a second. I hear a Afara. Oh, what was the Seaful rollout? Maverick is trying to instill some suffering. And Seaful trying to do some clever little rollout. Gets up to the top. Okay. Was playing behind Pankar. That was a wild sequence of Pankar. They're back-to-back with Seaful. Dashes out. Jufin gets the kill. Now Duck comes to challenge the high ground with the overclockable 5. Benji, while Maverick is still, able to hold down the fort on the cart. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry. Seafold somehow dives with Meteor Strike during that engagement. I mean, this clock goes under the 60-second mark. And Maverick has not been dislodged off of these front lines in a hot minute. Jardello with using all the cooldowns just to get up to the tippity top of the tower. There's a little alliteration for you. Duck is just going to send him flying all the way back to the previous map. Seafold does gain some high ground access, but has 1 health to play with. 50, if we're being exact. Meteor Strike will get that extra healing, trying to drop in on top of Duck. Does a little bit of damage. Duck is able to jump back up. Here comes the rally. Here comes the pulse bomb. Benji, the victim of the latter. The rally is going to save the former. All 5 players from the defense still standing. He says with a question mark. Oh yeah, there we go. There's Mardux. Coming to join the party here with a big old orbital ray. The anti-nade in the middle of it's going to fade. Too early to be a big difference maker. And this is a huge stop. The Ramatra brawl composition of Artemis, indomitable in this point B defense. Invu, thank you for the follow.
Score 0-1. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Yeah, apparently Peasy was streaming the other match with Cats and Villains, but was causing some lag on their end, and so they had to turn stream off. I wish I had a clone of me and could have all the games broadcasted. I feel bad. I always feel bad when there's... I know it's a banger match, too. But hell, we're at map 5 here, all right? Let's look at the glass half full, as we've got our own banger on our hands. Spark. Try to put up the full hold for a chance at Master Division. Their tournament lives are on the line. And their debut here in FACEIT League. Iliad Artemis, it's their 3rd season in the league. All 3 have been inexpert. Both of their previous seasons, they finished 5th, 6th. If they are unable to win this map, they will once again fall 5th, 6th here in Season 4. If they're able to find the precious little meters they need on point B, it's a trip to Master Division for Season 5. It's all on the line here. Artemis' attack, 4 minutes to glory. 6.5, I guess, if they get the cap. Who's gonna take it? The stakes are high. Let's see if the pulses are calm. Juven with a great opening shot. I guess if the blood pressures are low, would probably have been a better metaphor there, huh? Oh well. Trades back and forth, 1 apiece. Benji goes over to a brig to try to get back into this fight. Maverick able to pick up a little bit of space. Seafold goes in and just, a little check into the back line. Forces a recall out of Pain Car. You can see Maverick just say, come on, team, come on! Use the defense matrix. Get around that corner. Artemis want to go fight on this point. Want to force the issue. Gotta stay tight. Seafold will exploit any weakness in this back line and completely flip this fight on its head. 1 minute has already passed. Pain Car gets taken down by Juven. Good punch lands, but it was not charged. Did not get that additional damage or the stun. Benji looked like they were able to thwart Maverick in the back. Maverick has bailed. Nope, Safel and Spark are going to live and die by this Doomfist, friends. So far, so good, but still 2 minutes to go. 1-for-1 trade. You get the pick on the Mardux, but Duck has an OC. One good rail shot could bring this fight. Juven is the victim of said rail shot. Takes their overclock off the table. This is going to be some percentage starting to build. There's enough reinforcements, so we're going to get a recontest. Spark tries to come in. Industrial with the counter punch, but Steeple on their back. And the Orbital will send them 6 feet under. That will just be the point, but it costs Artemis an important ult to make it happen.
Objective lost.
Despite where the cart ended up, there is actually enough time for recontesters. There's time for this defense to get set up. They gotta wait for the gate to open. It's like, take a breath. You don't have to rush this indeed. You know, Seafool just clearing a little bit of the high ground. Okay, he's gonna make a drop down. Feels like they've got an advantage here on Duck. Ooh, Duck slides out just in time to avoid the damage from the seismic slam. Jodello finds Mardux, and this is just gonna be a retreat. Ooh! Okay. Juven does get picked. You can see just how far back WedTube's playing. Okay, WedTube's gonna hit it to the high ground. Only 4 players here for the defense. Maverick is sticking in close. Jodello goes a bit over the top. He's gonna drop him with the blade. Beautiful anti-nade from WedTube. Oh my! How did that one land? Did that go up over the wall? That was sick. That was sick. Okay. A great ult out of Jodello, despite being down a player. I mean, and the brilliant setup for WedTube with the layup and the huge slam dunk from Jodello. Much needed fight win. Spark still alive in this map 5. Big anti-nade, Jodello does it again. That was the focus fire we saw from them on Samoa. That looks so tough to deal with. And we see WebTube and Jodello behaving as a hive mind here, holding the line. 2:30 remain.
This ends now.
Juven OC here from this defense. Duck is going to go down. Juven finds the shot. Maverick trying to hide underneath the catwalk. All 3 players, 4 players. Bunch of red outlines converge onto the Diva. WedTube has delivered success 2 fights in a row with some brilliant anti-nades. Has built up a lightning fast nano boost. There it is. And it's a purple industrial in the back. There's no dash to get through, but eventually he's able to work through the shield. Duck pops the OC. Jodello's able to deflect their way to safety. Seafool leaping up. The block will get them to the high ground. Then the defense is able to pounce in, get their one back out. Now they're looking to go. It's their turn again. Jodello and Seafool combining for attack down low. Didn't like what they saw. Back on up. Sleep dart onto Maverick. Over the right, thrown in over the top. Precious Humate originated, separating Artemis from Master Division. They got the opening 2 picks. The Orbital is going to do it. Mardux with a 3-piece to close it out. It's the Judo with the triple kill to celebrate the victory. Artemis win the match. They survive. They move on to the lower bracket semifinals and solidify themselves a place in Master Division for the first time. They will not fall 5th, 6th this time. 2025 is the year of Iliad. I know. What a finish, y'all. I know. I'm still reeling myself. I'm just going to leave some stats, y'all, for a second. I mean, I'm still reeling from that myself. That was wild. What a finish. What a finish. A great game and a fantastic series. A fantastic series. Oh, I'm sorry, Hero. I'm sorry, Hero. What stands out stats-wise? Maverick leading the server in damage? No, it's Duck. Duck leading the server in damage. Let's get some ducks in chat. Let's get some duck emotes in chat. Duck with most damage. Let's go. Artemis, move on. My heart breaks for the Spark Squad. My heart breaks for the Spark Squad. But we gotta celebrate the Artemis victory here. Let's get some ducks in chat. GG's. GG's.